Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to be reading a book called Lifetimes. This is a really beautiful book about death. I know death can be kind of a hard topic to talk about sometimes, but it's actually really important. I bet some of you have already had the experience of having a pet or someone that you love die. It's important that we're able to talk about the thoughts and feelings that we have about death. I'm going to share this book with you today, and then if you have more questions or things that you are wondering about death, you know that you can always talk to me or to Reverend Kristen or to your parents about death if you have questions. For now, let's read this book. Lifetimes. There is a beginning and an ending for everything that is alive. In between is living. All around us, everywhere, beginnings and endings are going on all the time, with living in between. This is true for all living things, for plants, for people, for birds, for fish, for trees, for animals, even for the tiniest insect. Nothing that is alive goes on living forever. How long it lives depends upon what it is and what happens while it is living. Sometimes living things become ill or they get hurt. Mostly, of course, they get better again. But there are times when they are so badly hurt or they are so ill that they die because they can no longer stay alive. This can happen when they are young or old, or anywhere in between. It may be sad, but it is the way of all things, and it is true for everything that is alive. For plants, for people, for birds, for fish, for trees, for animals, even for the tiniest insect. There are lots of living things in our world. Each one has its own special lifetime. Trees that are tall and strong grow slowly, standing in the sunshine and in the rain. Some of them live for a very long time indeed, as long as 100 years or more. That is their lifetime. Rabbits and mice grow up in only a few weeks. Then they go on to live for a year or two, crunching up carrots and nibbling at cheese until they grow old and very tired, and it is their time to die. This is how it happens to be for rabbits and mice. It is the way they live, and it is their lifetime. Birds grow up quite quickly, too. It is often no more than a few months from the time they hatch until they are strong enough to fly and feed themselves. How long they live after that seems to depend upon their size. Mostly, the bigger they are, the longer they will be alive. That is the way birds live. Some for as long as 50 years, others no more than 2 or 3. But however long, it is their lifetime for each one. And people? Well, like everything else that is alive, people have lifetimes too. They live for about 70 or 80 years, sometimes even longer, doing all the things that people do, like growing up and being grown up. It can happen, though, just as it does with all other living things, that people become ill or they get hurt. Mostly, of course, they get better again, but there are times when they are so badly hurt or they are so ill that they die because they can no longer stay alive. It may be sad, but that is how it is for people. It is the way they live, and it is their lifetime. So no matter how long they are or how short, lifetimes are really all the same. They have beginnings and endings, and there is living in between. That is how things are for plants, for people, for birds, for fish, for animals, even for the tiniest insects, everywhere.